Infidelity Recovery Institute classifies our type 4 affair as the entitlement affair. This type of affair is quite typically seen in people who have just come into money or some sort of status which has elevated their popularity. It could also happen in long-term marriages where somebody feels like they're deserving of having more than one relationship. Think of Prince Charles, Camilla, and Lady Di. But there's many different types of entitlement affairs, so I'll read through some of the questions and you can determine if this was the affair type that happened in your relationship. Now, we like to ask, are you focused on achievement and success? Do you compartmentalize the different aspects of your life? Do you take risks, believing that somehow it'll always work out, and it always has in the past? Were you brought up to be the child star or to fulfill a parent's unfulfilled dreams? Do you sometimes lie to avoid unpleasant outcomes? Are you constantly aware of your emotions? When you want something, do you expect to get it? And do you actively participate with your spouse and or your children? Now, we find people that get themselves into an entitlement affair type of situation are really taking a huge back step from their participation in their family and their role within the family. They really see this other role that they've either come into or that has been established as separate from the family and as important or more important than the family. And when you have this break in emotional attachment, it can lead to you having affairs outside of the marriage that you feel very a little shame or guilt about. You feel like honestly it is okay to do that, even though you feel okay in lying to your spouse about it as well. You're not always a narcissist, but you really just feel like, and you've got this logic going in your head that it's perfectly okay to do so. And remember, there's many different types of entitlement affairs. So if I'm saying something that doesn't exactly match your situation, just try and determine it by excluding the other types of affairs. Now, in saying that, sometimes the type 5 affair, the split self affair, where there's a midlife crisis or a coming out affair or a romantic affair, sometimes that can look like an entitlement affair. But there are differences in the questions that we ask. And also the exit affair. The exit affair can sometimes look like the entitlement affair. But with the exit affair, you're really done with the marriage. That's one of the huge indicators that it's not an entitlement affair, that it is an exit affair. With the entitlement affair, you really do want your marriage and you just want your cake and you want to eat it too. There could be different reasons why you want to keep that marriage. But for right now, you do want the marriage, you're willing to work on it. And if you're willing to understand how much hurt that you're causing to your partner and or your children, you might be able to come a little bit away from ego and your own personal needs and start including your family in this other role that you have in order to save your relationship. A lot of high-end executives can sometimes fall victim, if you like, to an entitlement affair where you're having this deluded state of mind that you're very important in your work role, and one of the benefits of that is people throwing themselves at you, and you just know that once that role goes or once that money goes, that you're really going to feel quite empty and shallow inside, and that your family right now, who truly loves you, really wants to have a relationship with you. You just need to go back down and reconnect with them. So if you're willing to do that, and if your betrayed spouse is if she or he can see that you are genuinely trying to work it out, we actually say that you do have a good chance of surviving this affair. But only if you really realize what you're doing and what the affair type is and why you're having these affairs, that then you can really change the nature of your infidelity, perhaps into monogamy, into the future.